That's not what's supposed to happen.
Welcome back.
Click the button.
Oh my gosh.
So I tell you what happened.
Uh-huh.
I tell you what happened. I was getting ready to click the button, and I did click the button, but it didn't start. And I was looking at it, my brain shut down because I clicked the end credit. It's not the intro. And then I was like, wait. And then my fast, like almost ninja-like reflexes, you see how slow they were, hit the intro. So yeah.
Welcome to
Hi.
A.M.O.K.
Welcome to
Hi,
A.M.O.K.
everybody.
Exactly right.
You know, we
Yeah.
find something new to do weirdly every
Yeah.
single week.
Right?
Every single week. It's
That's why
great.
y'all should tune in, because you never know what it's gonna be.
We challenge you
We're
to find
special.
something to do weirdly every week.
Every
Oh my
week,
gosh.
every week.
Every
Oh my
week.
gosh.
Everybody's got their specialty, you see, and this is not mine. And but hey, I give it a good try. All right, what do we got? Let's save us, Pam.
I will save you. So, events
us,
coming up in Kansas. In Kansas City, we've got, and I would encourage everybody to go to Google these to find the exact locations where they're occurring and the times. But in Kansas City, June 5th through 8th is Old Shawnee Days. June 6th is Jazoo at the zoo. June 6th through the 8th is Kansas City Pride. June 17th through July 6th is the Heart of America Shakespeare Festival. That should be interesting. And this one I need to find out more about. It's June 14th. It's Boulevardia. I'm not quite sure what that one is, but I looked it up.
Boulevardia.
Boulevardia. It's like Boulevard with an IA on the end.
Is that like a
interesting?
Sounds like shopping days or something.
I don't know, but it's intriguing, isn't it?
It is.
And then June 27th is Great Lenexa Barbecue Battle. That might be one for you, Adrian.
Oh yeah.
It's a little far away though.
Food. No
And then let's see, June 28th, Saturday, June 28th, 12 to 4 p.m. at the Century 2 Expo Hall is 2025 Wichita Pride. Saturday, June 28th, same day, at the Fountains at Water Walk, 520 South Wichita Street is Wichita Taco Fest.
Taco Fest?
Taco Fest.
That sounds great.
Right? And then June 27th through the 29th is the Anime Festival in Wichita. Starts at 6 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency on Waterman Street in Wichita. And then Juneteenth is in Overland Park at Prairie Fire. And I know it's Juneteenth. It's supposed to be June 19th, but since it's during the week, they're having it June 14th. And it's 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's see. And I'm looking to see some of these I didn't get the ones knocked off of here that have already passed. Okay, Saturday, June 14th, 7:45 to 2 a.m. at the Temple in Salina, Kansas is Paranormal Investigation. It's 160,000 square feet. It's for ages 18 and above. And it includes the Investigating 101, communication with spirit, using divination tools, and more. And you get to investigate the temple with the mysterious Mike and Sam, and Erica will be there too.
Okay. Mysterious Mike.
Yeah, they're actually going to be on the podcast the first week of July, I believe. We're going to have them.
Sweet.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm
Saturday.
Serious?
when is that when is the temple?
It
June what?
is June 14th.
June 14th. Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
And then Saturday, June 21st is the Tween Teen Ghost Hunt at the McIntyre Villa. That's also with the Mysterious Mike and Sam. And this one's cool because it's for those under the age of 18, but you have to have a parent or legal guardian with you. And you get to learn about ghost hunting, and you get to learn about the equipment and go on a hunt. And I think that's really cool that they're starting. It's ages 12 to 17, I should say, not just under 18. Kansas City Ren Fest is Saturdays and Sundays, August 30th through October.
Whoop,
And
Oh, you
Oh,
bleeped.
that was a
You
blip.
you bleep.
bleeped.
Were
did
you
I bleep? Am I
cussing?
back? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
October what?
Oh,
You
she
bleeped.
blinked.
You bleeped again.
Every time.
Okay, forget the dates. Well, put it in the chat. Apparently, it
August
doesn't mind.
30th through October 12th.
Oh,
There you
right.
go.
Gotta take a bigger breath. There you go.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. That was weird.
Holy cow.
Yay.
Fun is Saturday, August 2nd at the Leavenworth Masonic Lodge. We'll be there. It's sponsored by Apex, which we had on last week with Morgan. And then Strange Paranormal. And then Saturday, September 27th is the 7th annual Bordertown Paracon in Caney. So, yay!
Woo!
You
What's
can
that?
come and meet all of us.
We will all be there.
Yay.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
be- It's gonna be fun.
We like meeting people. Who are we meeting today?
We are meeting Russell Reynolds. Come on down.
Yay.
Yeah, come on down!
Yeah.
Woo! Let's make a
Hi,
deal.
welcome to AMOK.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Oh,
Of
you're
course.
welcome.
Oh, are y'all not going to
So-
ask questions? I mean, I've
No,
already
no,
had
no,
him
no.
on my show.
well,
I
no,
know
we
a lot
gotta
of things
start off
already.
we have to start off with the obligatory. Who are you? Why do you do what you do? And what do you do?
All right. You want the long version or the short?
We have 50 minutes.
Yeah, whatever natural for you.
Okay. My name is Russell Reynolds. I'm the founder of Beyond Life Paranormal Research, which started back in 2006 in New York State. And my first paranormal experience happened at the young age of 6 years old.
Wow.
I lived in a house that was haunted, and strange things would happen at night in this house. My mom's knickknacks on her shelves would be moved. She'd blame us kids for it. But I'm 6, my sister's 4, so we weren't tall enough to even reach the shelves yet. My dad would wake up in the middle of the night freezing, go down to the thermostat, check the heat, and the heat's turned down.
Hmm.
And water would turn on its own at night, lights would turn on its own. You'd hear the toilet flush at night. And about 3 o'clock in the morning one night, I was laying in bed, sound asleep, and the noise had woken me up. So woke up and I looked in my bedroom doorway, and here stands a full-bodied apparition of a Civil War soldier looking at me.
Wow.
Wow.
And kind of one of those kids, put the blanket over your head like that. It's not real. It's going to go away. So I got the curiosity again to kind of look up, and it was gone. And then my dog would dig at walls and growl and bark. And one morning we woke up and the car was running outside. Something had started the car without the key. And this is before auto start, so that'll let you know a little bit about my age. But,
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
and my dad wanted to rip open the wall in the attic because this wall had been sealed up. You could tell it was a new wall, and the attic was sealed up. But they were renting it with option to buy, so he didn't do it. We ended up moving out afterwards.
Excuse
My
me.
mom couldn't take it anymore. With all the paranormal stuff going on, I mean, my clothes would be thrown all over the place. I'd be at school, go upstairs, and my clothes are thrown off my bed. My dresser drawers are open. Bed was torn up, so it was enough for them. We moved out. People would move in. They would only stay maybe about a month or 2 months and then leave. Finally, a couple had bought it from New York City and they renovated the house. Well, they opened that wall and they opened the attic and they found Civil War guns, maps, bayonets, money,
Oh wow.
and uniforms in there. And so when I got a little older, I did some history research on the house and found out it was an old Civil War hospital and base
Okay.
at the time. So it's seen its share of deaths in there. And the house still stands today. They put new siding on it, but nobody's living in there now.
Hmm.
Oh
So
my
has the
gosh.
activity continued since the renovation? Do you
I
know?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them. I've always got curiosity. I wanted to go there, but every time I went to try to talk to them, they were never around. They were back in the city. So
Okay,
Well,
because
a
it's
house that I had my first paranormal experience, I guess you'd call it, uh, ghost wise. I sent a letter off to them saying, "Hey, I'd love an opportunity to get back to you and investigate that place." And they didn't contact me, but the rental company, the real estate agent, did. And so we did get an opportunity to investigate the place that had our first ghostly experience. So pretty
oh,
cool.
that's kind
Nice.
of cool. Yeah, as soon as you mentioned something about your drawers were pulled open,
mhm,
things were thrown around. First thing that hit me was that Civil War soldier that you had seen was looking for something and he
yep.
couldn't find it. That's why I was wondering if, since they opened it and they found all this stuff, I wonder if that made a lot of the energy go away or be appeased.
It may have.
Interesting. That's crazy. What area was that? What
It
city,
was it was
town, or
in
city?
Callicoon, New York, which is an old 1800s town, old wagon and horse town,
Okay.
and it's down in the Catskill Mountains.
Okay.
Be kind of a
Interesting.
drive for you now to go to investigate that place.
Oh yeah, we travel all over the place, so it's nothing for us. But and then I kind of started getting older. I stayed at a friend's house, and I would see stuff in their house. Seen a little boy one night bouncing a ball against the wall. My dad would stay there to go deer hunting, so as a kid, I would stay with him up there. And my brother seen somebody peeking down from the upstairs through the floor grate that they used for heat back then, because this was an old 1800s house as well. And come to find out, a man had hung himself in the barn
Oh my gosh.
because his son had passed away due to a sickness.
Wow.
And so you would see him all the time. That house kind of freaked me out as a kid too. When I'd go stay with the neighbor's son, and you'd walk that driveway at night, and you'd just get that eerie feeling that you were being watched.
I get the feeling that maybe your parents or chose these places just to freak you guys out.
I don't
They were
think so.
drawn to them or
They
something,
may
or
have, but like my dad used to be a big skeptic to it all
okay.
until he started experiencing it too. And one night, he was at the school with me where I was working, and I knew it was haunted. And the superintendent said to me, "Yeah, you can set cameras out as long as you're working. I don't care." So I would take the old deer game cameras that you hang on a tree, and I'd set them
Hmm.
out throughout the hallway. Well, he come in one night, and this was about 11 o'clock, and I'm standing there looking at him, and his hat goes flying off his head, and I figured, "Oh, he's playing a trick on me. He's just joking." So we get down the hallway a little more, go to pick up that other camera, and I'm looking right at him. His hands are down at his side, and there goes his hat flying off his head.
Good golly.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You're kind of like a ghost magnet type thing.
Well,
It-
him and I
d-
both have abilities as well because
okay.
we both had near death experiences. Him back in
You
Okay.
his
see, that was going to be my next question. Were you woo woo? And
Well, and mine was
uh,
going to be near death. So
Well,
go ahead.
he's got more of an interesting background. Y'all got to ask the more questions.
All
you're the
right.
one who knows the questions. No, no, that's kind of so. All this happened in New York.
Yep, except for the school. The school was here in Missouri.
Okay.
Okay.
I moved here in 2012, and that's where the branch of Beyond Life Paranormal Research Missouri was formed. And I still had the other one running back in New York. I had a friend running it until about 2016, and then she ran into some medical issues. So I was like, we'll just shut that one down. I've got this one running. So I was running both of them from Missouri.
That's hard to manage two things like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you have a team that works with you, or is it
Yep.
mostly yourself? Or
Yeah, I've got my dad that goes out with me, and then I've got my lead investigator, Jen Durrell. He comes
okay,
out with us.
okay,
So there's just three of us. I cut it down to a smaller team, but I do have connections. Like I'm part of Cold Spotters, which is a big name
okay,
group in British Columbia, Canada. So if we have any issues where we got a bigger building to take care of, we'll call in one of the Cold Spotters teams. We've got one that's not terribly far. We got one in Texas that I work with.
okay. So is it
So when you travel and you do investigations and stuff like that, uh, what is what is your main focus as an investigator? Are you uh, just looking for your knowledge, or are you looking to help people?
I do it to help people. We do a lot of residential. We're more of a
Excellent.
residential investigation team than we are more your events and going to these big public places. I mean, they're fun to go to. I've done several, but my passion is to help people and help families and help kids.
Which was our ministry as far as RVPRI in Arkansas. That's what we did. Most of our more than 300 investigations, most of those were homes, and that's where I found. I mean, I needed help and could never find anybody, so I was able to help people where like I needed. So
Yeah,
that's kind of I appreciate that because I think a lot of those teams have gone to the wayside. More people are uh, doing the big fancy places and doing events more than actually helping
yep.
people in need it.
Yeah,
So
we get called like crazy for that because, like you said, there's not many that do it. One of our cold spotters teams in Texas, they're wanting to get into residential, so I've been kind of mentoring them on getting into the residential. My cousin's team, they still do residential and help clients quite a bit, but there's not very many that do it anymore. Well, you figure with your residential cases, there's a lot more different energies when it comes to it, a lot more liability issues.
oh yeah,
With us,
and you never know what you're walking into.
we've got several forms for our clients to fill out, questionnaires. We're background checking our clients and background. I even background check my members that join up. So
okay?
I'm not
Yeah,
bringing a convicted felon into somebody's house or anything like that.
no, that's good. Yeah, I mean, we did
That
too. We did background checks on all our people. So, no, so walk me through a standard residential investigation. What would you uh, walk me through that?
For us, when we get that phone call and talking to the client, we screen them over the phone before we even go out there. I get their name, address, any types of medications that they're on that cause any hallucinogens, or they've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, or they've got problems with alcohol or drug abuse. And then when we finally meet with them, we have them fill out the questionnaire, interview them further after we've done all the background checks. And usually my dad, he'll interview the clients because of with his abilities. He knows when somebody's holding something back or they're lying,
Uh-huh.
and he'll flat out tell them about it. Look, a lot of me
that's
don't
good.
because I can read you. I know what you're hiding from us. And we do find a lot of people that have hid, whether they've done alcohol, they've been to jail, or they did some real bad stuff. And we always find out at the end, before the end of the case, what they've done. And a lot of times you go into residential, we debunk a lot of stuff. They're hearing doors moving, floors creaking, which is like my background is in construction, electrical, plumbing. So is my dad. So for that stuff, we're easy. It's easy to debunk in these old houses because weather shifting, moisture is going to move a door, it's going to shift your wood, make it pop and crack.
Yep.
So, and we set up all kinds of cameras and all kinds of stuff. So we go by what we capture as evidence, see if we get that full bodied apparition, the EVPs, or we don't. A lot of times we don't catch nothing at all. A lot of times it's psychological what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check
Well, I agree with
EM.
that. With that, knowing what the house makes sounds and stuff. My house is haunted, but not all the creaks and pops and sounds are paranormal. As a matter of fact, most of those sounds aren't paranormal. So
Right.
yeah. So, but I mean, like you say, you saw stuff when you were young,
Yep.
and you weren't prepared for that. Most people aren't. So when you're sitting there watching American Idol, and then you see a dark shadow walk across your living room, you're freaking out and you're calling Ghostbusters. So
Yeah.
delayed
All right,
reaction from
so
Shauna. But
sorry.
Wasn't it?
I was laughing because there was it got silent. I'm like, okay.
Shauna's kind of got a delayed reaction there. That's all right. No, so what do you do?
So you go in.
Go ahead.
So you go in, you debunk. Basically, that's a good private investigation, or for especially residential or any private investigation. You debunk first. How long do you, or how often do you typically have to go back? Once, twice? Can you usually figure out things within the first visit?
A lot of the easier ones you can find out usually in the first visit,
Okay.
but there's some that we went back twice, 3 times. But we still go back just to verify, make sure they're doing what we told them our instructions. And if they don't follow our instructions, we go back, they're going to let something else back in there.
Okay. So
So what kind of
you
instructions do you give a client? Say they got something in their house, they want it gone.
We do cleansings. After we do the cleansings, we put a perimeter out. We use a lot of blessed salt. We use blessed oil, holy water, and stuff like that. And we have them keep them barriers in place. I'll go around the outside of the house also with blessed salt. If it's something darker, we'll do St. Benedict's medals out in the yard on all 4 corners of the yard. We'll do anointing oils around the beds and stuff like that. But if they don't keep them in place, it's going to try to get back in. But then you got the ones that actually they do it wrong. I mean, people don't realize that they have the power to take their house back. It's just it takes us to coach them. So I'll bring a client with me on a cleansing so they can claim their space back.
Well, yeah, I would think that would be key, because when you leave,
Yep, they're the ones that got to live there after, and
Yep.
then
yeah,
right.
we leave them with instructions. I also leave them with blessed salt too, so that way if they do happen to break the salt barrier, they can get some put back down.
Okay.
We've got somebody asking in the chat, what kind of evidence do you have? Or
Oh, I
have
have
you-
video. I have a lot of EVPs.
What's your favorite piece of evidence, or do you have a favorite one?
Robert Verdella from the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Ah,
It's a cool place.
yes.
That's a
Yes,
very
it
cool
is.
place.
We caught him up in the Missouri State Penitentiary Museum.
Oh, in the
Really?
museum.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, some of his artifacts, his shanks and stuff, are all up there in that museum. So
Yeah.
he's up there.
Now, have you been to every part of the museum? Because I know they've had some of the stuff blocked off in the past. We were blocked off. We couldn't go to certain sections.
Oh, we've been to
Yeah.
all of it.
Oh,
Well,
see,
the time we were there,
Yeah.
they were renovating one of the buildings behind. So, solitary,
boo.
not solitary.
boo.
Death
Yeah,
row.
Death
Death row was closed.
row.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
death row. I love that place. I mean, as I was telling
I
them,
can't wait to go back.
and last time we went, that was my 9th time there. So it's
I
it's
see
an
why.
awesome
It's really
place.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a
Well,
pretty
you can't
awesome.
really just get all of it in one go either, especially with as big a groups as you got going around.
Yeah.
And it's never the same every time you go back. It's always
Right.
something different when you go there.
Oh.
Yep.
It was a cool place. I never have issues with like getting emotional in a place, and we were down in the gas chambers, and I did. I had to act.
Oh, she bleeped out.
Did
She
I?
bleeped
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
I had to actually leave
If
the
you see
room
us go
because.
like this, you bleep. No, go ahead.
Okay, I just wait till Shauna hollers.
That works.
Yeah, I had to actually leave and go outside because I got a little bit overwhelmed, and that's never happened before. That was pretty wild. It's very
Oh,
cool
it was
place.
interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
The
The
only place that
feeling
ever
that was
made
in
me
there.
feel overwhelmed was, and I didn't investigate it. I was just there. Was Gettysburg.
Oh yeah,
Because
just
I have
history
yet
of
to
standing
go
there at
there.
Gettysburg, and I mean,
wow.
really, it kind of affected me. And I'm like, I'm not that guy because I'm not woo woo at all. But but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, yeah,
Well, he had some sort of woo woo happening to him. I mean, just
I mean,
saying.
it's an emotional experience anyway. Just to go there,
yeah,
and yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty wild.
So, Russell, let's dig a little bit deeper into your ancestry
deeper.
and find out where you might have got some of your woo woo from.
I am the cousins of Ed and Lorraine Warren and John Zaffis.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
So have you met them then? Have
I
you?
never did get to meet Ed and Lorraine. I only found out a few years ago that I was related to them. But I
Your
did
ancestry.
study them when I was younger and never knew I was related to them.
Uh,
Wow. Okay.
so
But it
So
is something that seems to run in the family regardless.
I did get to meet John Zaffis. I did get to meet
do you meet
Keith
him? Okay.
Johnson. I didn't get to meet Carl yet, but I've got to meet my cousin Tony Sparrow, which is Ed and Lorraine's son-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been around Annabelle.
Oh,
Okay.
see,
no, thank you.
I, I'm
Apparently,
I'm very
Annabelle's been
skeptical on
traveling.
Annabelle.
I am too, but at the same time, I mean, I have a doll. My daughter inherited a doll from this older lady that's next to her grandparents, and it's a Raggedy Ann and Andy doll. And they're like I think she said they were like 70 something years old or 80 something years old. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh gosh, you keep them in your room, and we'll keep an eye on them and see what happens."
Right?
While they keep an eye on you.
Right?
I've been around Annabelle. She is real. She's not just a doll. She's got something attached
You
to
can
her.
feel that stuff around it.
Yeah, you can feel it. When we
Mm.
were at Warren's Faircon in the museum and everybody going through paying attention to all these demonic items, Annabelle started kicking up a little bit. I even said to Wade, I was like, something feels off in here. You might want to put something back to sleep again.
Yeah.
Mm. See, there's a lot of controversy going on right now about Annabelle.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
And
The
Well,
rumors that she's missing. She's not missing. She's back in the
No,
Warrens.
she's back at the museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
She
suppose.
didn't turn a place down.
Yeah.
Caused inmates to escape.
she,
But
all
hey,
these years she's
Picking
just now
the lock.
escaping.
paranormal people
Picking the
they
lock.
don't a lot of them don't care about the truth. They like the story. So you give them a story to run
Yeah.
with, they're gonna go with it.
Oh
So
yeah,
Yeah.
that Annabelle's missing. Oh my gosh, no.
I've been around them. That's why they brought Father Bob Bailey with them because of Annabelle going across country, and
Yeah.
they do a lot of precautions to keep people safe from her. And even the rest of the items, their shadow dolls, even another one that's one of their worst pieces in that art museum. That shadow doll shut down a whole power grid in West Monroe, Connecticut.
Oh my gosh.
I
Interesting.
did a session when they were out here at Missouri State last summer with the shadow doll.
Oh, they came out with the shadow doll to Missouri
They brought,
State?
yeah, they brought the shadow doll, the fire doll, the dinosaur from the Devil Made Me Do It case. They
Oh
brought
wow.
Oh.
Wow.
a demonic skull out. They brought a sword that was used in demonic rituals.
Oh
Halloween
my
masks that were
goodness.
used to sacrifice children. let's
Wow.
just say it kicked up a whole bunch of activity in Missouri State when they had him out
Yeah, what a place to bring
Jeez.
it. Someplace that hardcore,
Criminals.
hardcore criminal. It's like, really,
Yeah.
guys? Are you thinking? And somebody's, I think Liz, hey Liz, she brought up that she thinks that, and I kind of agree that Robert might be worse than Annabelle.
there. Yeah,
Have you seen that one?
I've never been near Robert, but I've got friends who have, and
Mm-hmm.
he's pretty bad. I mean, Annabelle did hurt the priest. That was when Ed and Lorraine had brought her home. Before they put her in that case, she would just sit
Okay.
in a chair. And
Mm.
they had a priest come in, bless him. Well, the priest challenged the doll, took it, threw it across the room, and said, God's more powerful than the devil. Well, he was on his way home, and he got in a car accident.
Uh,
And the first thing he saw was a flashback of Annabelle before he
oh,
crashed.
oh my gosh.
Interesting.
That is
Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
That, mm.
Dan's had problems with Annabelle when they move her. He was in a car wreck too because of Annabelle. Because they
That's
have to
interesting.
switch cases. They've got a big case for her in the museum, and then they got a travel case for her.
Yeah, because
So that
I
Dan has to move her.
interesting. I was just reading recently that Annabelle was on tour, supposedly, but when you saw the photo, and I saw a photo, I'm like, that's not Annabelle. That's just a Raggedy Ann doll. So,
No, that
and I
was the real Annabelle. They
Annabelle
had
is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
that was the real Annabelle they had on tour. That's why they
that
brought
that
that
was
with them. Yeah, that was the
Mhm.
real
okay. So that was the real Annabelle. The other
But
one is was
she's
the other
back in
one
the
just
museum now.
a
the
prop
one. Yeah, the one in the picture that you see
in the
Lorraine.
movie?
Yeah, that they have that Annabelle doll from the movie also in the museum. They have the one from Annabelle Comes Home doll.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, that's it.
they couldn't get the approval from the Raggedy Ann company, whoever they are,
No.
to
No, they
use
don't
that
Yeah.
have
because
Yep.
they had to come up with a
I
new
mean,
doll.
imagine you're a toy
Okay.
company.
Yeah, you're not
Wanting to
gonna
sell
okay
Oh,
that.
no.
imagine. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then, oh
I
no,
can't imagine
here's
it. Okay.
here's a little demon doll.
Yeah,
Give it
she's
to
a
your
demon doll.
granddaughter.
I'm just gonna imagine myself making Ouija boards. No, that was Mattel. Go ahead.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Uh
They still do it.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
oh. Oh, they do.
Annabelle's pretty bad. That's why they don't let anybody walk up to the case. You can't touch the case. They got it roped off. So
Okay.
and they have her under guard. That's why they had guards there when she was down in San Antonio, so nobody could get near her.
Mm.
That's interesting. Could you feel the vibes from the distance you were at? I mean, did you see
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh
So you
yeah.
could feel. Yeah, I've encountered somebody. I was at a paranormal conference, and this guy brought in a doll that he had. It was kind of plain. It was almost like a oh I don't even know how to. It wasn't Raggedy Ann, but it was just like plain brown outline, like I can't think of how to even explain it. Like a gingerbread person,
Oh yeah.
if that makes sense. Just
Just a
it's just
stuffed doll. Yeah.
basically, yeah, it's kind of flat, and they were passing it around to friends, and he said it's really a good luck charm. I refused to touch it because I was 3 feet away from it and I got the shivers. And I'm
I
like, oh, hell no, 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 no. So, and one of my friends actually held it. No, she's like, oh, this is so loving. And she had a couple of weird experiences in the car on her way home. I'm like, no, that he brought it back the following year. And I'm like, no, I can still feel that, that
Tina called it a QB doll.
crazy a QP, okay, crazy energy. But yeah, it was I understand what you're saying. I don't know what I would feel if I saw Robert or Annabelle. I have no idea.
And
I'd
Annabelle,
probably.
if you look into her eyes, she can connect to you telepathically.
She's what now, telepathic?
Yeah, she can connect to you telepathically. That demon that's inside of her can connect to you. If you stare her straight in the eyes. I was watching one
Mm.
of Ed's old videos, and camera zoomed in on Annabelle's eyes, and I was looking into her eyes. And that night when I went to sleep, I saw Annabelle.
Yeah, I find myself really skeptical on the dolls. And you guys talked about Robert too. And I like, I've seen all these things and I've heard the stories, and I'm like, to me, it don't get it. Like Julie said on there, the power of suggestion holds a lot of weight to a lot of people. So it's just like the paranormal thing. If people tell you that stuff's going on in this paranormally in this house and stuff, you go in there, and if you don't go in there preloaded with that information, you have a totally different experience, which is the way we are. Because I never believe any of my clients that tell me things that are going on.
Yeah,
Not that I don't believe, not that I don't believe they're not having paranormal experiences. I don't believe they're interpreting what they're seeing.
The problem with
The
that,
way it is.
though, is the
Yeah.
fact that so many people believe in something, put energy into it. You can create
Yep.
something.
you can
Yeah,
manifest.
you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that mass psychosis?
No,
Yeah.
it's like creating a tulpa kind of thing, Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
That's like your teenagers. Your teenagers can manifest poltergeist with hormone changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's that energy.
It's a lot of different energy, and I think it's something that people would have to experience for themselves before.
Yeah,
That's another one of those you got to experience for yourself, because a lot of
Well,
people are going to say, "Well,
Annabelle is supposed to be at Scarefest. I don't know if it's still happening.
yeah.
And I don't know if
I
they
know
charge you extra to go see her or if she's just there. So I don't know. But I'm not one to pay extra money to go see something that I don't believe in. But if it's there, it'd be interesting to go see. But I mean, I'm a skeptic, uh, but I'm not. I was stupid once. I'm not going to be stupid again. But because I know not everything plays the way you think it's going to play. So uh,
No.
she will
it'd
also
be
be at Rock Island Paracon, also in Rock Island, Illinois, in October as well.
Okay. Yeah, I can just see Adrian seeing going, and Annabelle's there, and I'm trying to imagine Adrian, you with an afro.
what? Why?
wow.
It's like,
Wait, did I miss something?"
scaring him so that his hair stands straight up,
Oh,
Oh,
that kind of
I
thing.
was like, not knowing where that
I was
was
like,
going.
where are we going with this one?
Well,
don't-
you got to flow a little bit here. I'll
I
get
don't
there.
get scared, but I can be booed. That's for sure. But
Okay.
Well,
All right.
Julie, they take it places with a priest. A priest goes with them. They're not just taking it to take it. They have precautions, so to speak.
Yeah, they put them to sleep even before they leave the museum. They put a black sheet over them. If you watch some of the videos, like when she was going into San Antonio there, they were wheeling her in. She had a black sheet over her. That's to keep them at bay. They don't acknowledge them in the car. They bless the car before they even leave the property with them. And then they bless themselves. And then as they're traveling, they don't acknowledge that the items are back there in the vehicle.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Now, a lot of the times, though, it is kind of, I guess, well, I guess we're just going to go with the plain word. It's a little bit scary that they are traveling with something that Ed and Lorraine considered to be potentially so dangerous that they had to keep her locked up all these years.
Well, Ed and Lorraine used to take her out when the museum got closed because of
Yeah.
issues. They used to take her out and do an evening with Annabelle. They would bring her to lectures in colleges and stuff like that because
Yeah.
Ed wanted the word out about these objects and what they can do and how the demonic can inhabit them. But not all objects are demonic. I mean, you can
True.
get
Right.
dolls that are just regular, but when you get one that's disguising itself as a child, God does not let a child inhabit a doll.
yeah.
No.
So,
Good point.
and the reason why they disguise themselves, so you bring it home, you hold it up to your heart, that's where it latches onto you, and you get an
Yep.
attachment.
Julie
What
says when
latches
the
on?
Warrens got. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. No, I was just going to say the way the demons latch onto you is when you listen to those Kiss albums.
Hey, I went and seen Kiss live. I'm not demonic
I've
that
s-
anybody knows of.
It's got to be an album.
But
It's that fake vinyl stuff. Go ahead.
You
oh.
spin it backwards.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
But Julie says when the Warrens got Annabelle, they didn't put her in a box.
Oh, they
I Oh,
They,
didn't
they
they do it later on though?
yeah, later on they did. They didn't know then how to contain the energy of those items, so they didn't put them in the case. She was sitting in the chair. If you go on my Facebook and you look at the movie Annabelle doll, the chair that she is sitting in is the actual chair that Annabelle sat in when they brought her home.
Interesting.
The good old satanic panic. Says Granda's. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm butchering your name. But yeah, it's interesting to listen to their stories and listen to how they come into play, especially with your history because of what you've gone through throughout your life and what you're experiencing. You have a way to be able to see some of the stuff that you've inherited along with your dad. But it's not just that you're related to them. Your dad is also, and your dad Indian?
Yep, we're both Native American. My grandmother was full-blooded Comanche Indian off the reservation in Oklahoma.
So
So,
you got
so
we got
did you get some
sorry.
training from them, or pass along traditions or anything, from grandma to your dad, you say,
I never
to
did
you?
meet my grandmother. She passed away before I was born, so
Okay.
I just got stories from my uncles and my dad about my grandmother.
Okay.
My dad used to go to the reservation with her.
Okay. Now you mentioned also that you're basically a survivor of an NDE,
Yep,
correct?
yep,
Was your father also?
yep. He was in
Okay.
a car accident back in '73 that this convertible, he got hit from the side and it just pushed and creamed it. The engine was in his lap.
oh.
Brake had stuck him in the back of the head, and they didn't think he was going to make it. He died at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and he woke up to three nuns reading his last rites in the hospital.
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
So
Well,
then
God brought it back for a reason.
you also then had an NDE?
Yep, when I was 12 years old, I had a seizure brought on by the flu. I was running a high fever, and I passed out, hit the floor. I've got a scar right here under my chin where I bashed my chin open, and I ended up passing away for a little bit. My mom gave me CPR to bring me back.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
So because I'm kind of studying some NDE stuff right now. I've really been into it for the past year or so because I think I've also encountered one that was a near drowning when I was like 13, 14 years old, or maybe it was 15. What doesn't matter. But did
Okay.
your did you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Did your abilities change at that point,
Yeah, I
or did
did.
you notice them more?
Yeah, I started noticing more where I was more feeling things that I shouldn't be feeling. I started becoming more empathic, where I was starting to feel more emotions and other people. Like if they're sitting there talking, you can feel what they were talking about, or they think I'm weird and look at me, and I can definitely tell, hey, you're talking about me. And I still do that to this day. I can still feel people when they're talking, and I get overwhelmed even going into a crowd of people because of it. I can feel so
Mm-hmm.
many different emotions, and going into even funerals are the worst
Oh, they're horrible
going into.
Oh
because
my
everything's so
gosh.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel
I
everybody's
hate going to a
emotions.
crowd of people. But it's nothing woo woo. I just don't like a crowd of people.
Same with
How,
cemeteries
right.
are the same way. You can everybody just wants to chatter in your ear, and
So do you see spirits all the time then, and
oh
they're
yeah,
constantly carrying on conversations with you?
sometimes a lot of I know how I've learned over the years how to tone them out and shut myself down. If I need to close myself off, I will. Like when we're on an investigation, I won't open myself up that much because with me being the team lead, I'm worried about my team's safety. So I'm more focused on them and what we're there for than opening myself up and getting drained.
Okay, makes sense. Gotcha.
So you were saying earlier you're helping people when you're trying to cleanse a house. You said that you're dealing with the Saint Benedictine metals and stuff like that. So you do you handle things? I'm kind of confused here because now you said something about Native American background. So do you do a hybrid of those two things, or you do strictly with the Catholicism?
Depending on what it is, if it's a regular spirit, we'll do like the Native American cleansings with the sage and stuff like that. But if we're getting into like our darker spirits, which your demonic stuff, which is rare, I mean, it happens maybe twice out of 100 cases you do. We'll go with the religious part of it because your sage does not work against your demonic stuff because they've upped their game to it. They don't respond to it anymore. They'll go laying dormant and wait till it clears, and then they come back out on the attack again. So if it's a regular one, we'll go with the sage and do the regular cleansing stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that with cleansing sprays, and we'll use white sage, dragon's blood. I'll mix a little lavender sage in there so you get that calming smell. And that usually helps with clients too with that lavender smell going through there. I'll use Palo
We use
Santo.
white sage and cedar is what we use. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
cedar's another good one. I've used cedar before.
Yeah,
no,
I've
But
always
it's
used
all it's
white
all what your
sage.
belief system is. It's all what you believe in your faith
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
How that also works.
yeah.
What's
I mean, I get that.
so if I may be so bold here and say, what is your success rate for keeping things away at the on the cases that you've done, as you know, compared to how many have actually returned and you've had to go back to help them again?
I think we've only had to return to one case was about 6 months that we've had to come back. That was a real dark case. That was actually a demonic case. He was under partial possession and oppression to the point where her eyes rolling in the back of her head and you watch an upside down cross scratching her neck. Sleepwalking, bruises, wanted to kill her family, and that took 6 months to deal with. And she's finally back to normal. We're like family to her. She invites us over for Thanksgiving dinner, and her whole family loves us. I DJ'd her daughter's wedding, and so
Mhm.
we're like family to them. So we have a pretty good success rate that we've only
Okay.
had to go back maybe twice on a case. I'd say about 80, 90% success rate we've had. And then there's a few we haven't had to go back. I constantly call my clients and check up on them because a lot of clients are far away. So if we're busy with other cases, I'll call and check on them.
Hmm.
And with my other connections with teams, if I need help on something, I just call a buddy of mine and they'll take their team out there and see what's going on too if they're close by.
So do you ever have to get? I'm going to use the term bigger guns, like for an exorcism, or do
Yeah,
you?
we work with Sister Farrah Rose Perry, which used to be Sister Farrah Rose Deals. She's a Roman Catholic demonologist that works for the diocese office in Springfield, Missouri. She's kind
Okay.
of like my mentor with the demonic. I study under her and
Okay.
Father Bob Bailey, and so and if it gets too much that we can't handle, because we're not authorized to do exorcisms or anything
Right.
like that, we're just the verification team. I'll call her, and then it gets turned over to them, and then they take it from there.
So you have to give them evidence to
Yep,
present to get
yep, yep.
official approval by really almost by the Pope, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's by the
The the
bishop.
the,
Yeah,
the
if
council,
you
the
mess with the
council.
Catholics,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to get standard permission for all that.
yeah, interesting. So what other kind of things do you do? You do paranormal investigating for, and you help individuals basically, or pretty much residential homes. What other things you can kind of get involved with?
I got my own podcast that I do, paranormal podcast,
Okay.
Natural Link Network, that I do every Saturday.
Okay.
I'm also in the process of writing a book.
Excellent.
and a movie.
More
So,
excellent.
More excellent,
I
right?
can't say excellenter, but go ahead.
so
Excellenter. You
Fantabulous.
can say that.
I like it.
Excellenter.
Excellenter. There you go.
Excellenter.
So, is there a particular genre, or as far as your book, is it multiple stories or
it's
one topic?
basically talking about the paranormal, and then it's going to dive into my cases that I've done over the
Okay.
years, some of my notable ones that I've worked on.
Okay. And the movie you're working
The movie's
on
actually based on an urban legend in York, Pennsylvania called the Seven Gates of Hell.
in York, Pennsylvania?
Yep.
I've heard of it.
It's about an
Or
old asylum that had burned down, and you had to pass through seven gates to get to the actual asylum. And there's paranormal stuff that happens when you hit like the fifth gate. I guess
Oh
there's
my.
like one kid that had made it up to where the asylum was, and I guess he's locked away in a mental institution now.
interesting. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm working on a horror movie for that.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
Lot of research. You're not gonna take
No,
that challenge and see if you get locked away before the movie gets done.
we were gonna go out there. We had talked about it when I still lived in New York, and then strange things started happening to myself, our psychic. We started having nightmares, and
Mm-mm.
it was basically a warning, like
Yeah.
you don't
No,
belong out here.
don't do this.
And
Ugh.
one member of the team, she had some asthma issues, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not bringing you guys out there and committing you to that danger."
Okay. So
I know
mostly
Ashley from Pin
go
Paranormal.
ahead.
She did say in the chat, do you have a screening process before you work with the family? I know you talked about it a little bit. Do you mind going over that a little bit again?
Yeah, we do background checks on our clients, find out what kind of medical history they got, if they're schizophrenic or if they're on antidepressants, all kinds of medication, if they got drug and alcohol abuse, or they've been sexually molested as a kid, that past trauma, stuff like that. That's kind of our screening process with it. And then all our forms that they fill out when we get there dives into more questions like the paranormal activity and stuff like that.
Cool.
How often do you say after that, no thanks?
No,
Ah.
no thanks.
Seriously, I mean, I've said no thanks. I've said hell no a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Pass.
haven't, but I mean,
Pass.
we've walked in the cases where we tell them no weapons or anything like that. We've ended up having to leave because they pull out a gun. We had one guy pull out a gun, and we said, "No guns. All guns need to be out of the house before we come."
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where
that's
am I
tough.
Oh.
supposed to put my guns in?
I tell them, take them and lock them in the car.
Uh,
Just take them out of the house.
Yeah.
If things go haywire, we don't want nobody reaching for a gun, or if they do have that history of schizophrenia and with their disability, they're hearing voices and they get a little crazy or something. We don't want them grabbing a weapon and trying to hurt one of us or anything.
Do real ghost hunting, right?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
nah,
Oh.
most of our
Oh.
investigations don't have the clients in there with us. So, because
Yeah.
if I'm investigating the person, that's a different thing. I'm investigating the home. I don't want the person in there.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
We have a lot of hours leave as well for the night. Go to like a kid's house or a friend's house. And then when we get ready to leave for the night, we'll have them come back. But we won't go in a client's house and tell them, hey, it's haunted. Oh, you got a demon here. That word gets thrown around quite a bit. You're not going to tell a
So
client.
loosely.
Yeah.
You don't tell a
only
client.
once in my paranormal career. Once.
But
Knock on wood, I have not had to deal with that yet.
That was
Yeah.
plenty, huh?
but
Mm.
yeah, we won't go in and tell a client that their house is haunted. We'll get clients asking, hey, you find anything? We won't know until we go over the evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround time on your evidence review and I'm sorry,
It's
reveal?
It's quite a bit. I usually don't get to it till we slow down because most of the time it's just me going over like the DVR. So you're watching over 12 hours of footage each investigation. So and trying to pick out, especially EVPs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Robin from the chat asked a question. Says, "How do you think someone has been sexually molested affects an investigation?"
Well, it brings past trauma, mental, psychological issues, and stuff like that. It also brings your darker stuff because that's what they feed off. They feed off that disability. So that brings your darker stuff in there too because they feed on the weak. So when
You
you're
talking regular spirits, or you talking demonic?
even demonic, your regular spirits will too. Your malicious ones, they go after people with disabilities because you're weak. So that's why they pick on them. But most of your regular spirits, maybe they own the house at one time, and to them, you're trespassing in their space. They don't like it. It's like a burglar breaking into a house. What are you going to want to do? You're going to want to hurt them to protect your family, protect your house. That's the same with a regular spirit. If they own that house too at one time, you go in, you start tearing down walls, and you start changing stuff that they were used to. Of course, it's going to stir up paranormal activity. And a lot of times it's connected with the land if there was a murder there or something like that. Because Missouri doesn't have to disclose when you buy a house that somebody had died there, somebody's been murdered there, or on the land itself.
True. So it sounds like you do encounter a lot of moods.
Yeah.
Spirits have moods. I mean, they
Yep.
can be happy. They could live peacefully with somebody, or they get angry. They get annoyed. Hey, what's your name? Oh, I hate that question. But
Yep.
yeah, it's like, what are you going to ask me again? I'm going to throw something at you now.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, people want to, so of course they're going to get angry just like we would if you're asking the same annoying question
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
one right after the other.
yeah, yeah, that's
All
true.
right, all right.
Make a noise,
Well,
or telling them what to do. So,
Right.
Adrian, back to you.
we got 2 minutes. So what I need you to do right now is plug yourself. How would people contact you if they want to get in contact with you? If you're doing any events or anything like that, it's your time to shine. Shoot.
All right. You can find us on Facebook at Beyond Life Paranormal Research Missouri, Cold Spotters Missouri. You can find us on TikTok, BLPRMO, on YouTube, Beyond Life Paranormal Research, the Missouri edition. You can find me on the Supernatural Link Network, the Beyond Life Paranormal podcast every Saturday at 8 o'clock. We are going to be at Gettysburg here in July at the Nesper Devil on the Run tour. We're going out there. Annabelle will be there making an appearance at the orphanage in the Jenny Wade house.
Okay.
June here, we're going to be in Missouri State with Get Haunted at their event. There's a book signing. We'll be investigating Missouri State.
Okay.
September, we will be at Bordertown Paracon.
Woo!
No
Great
way.
place.
Yep.
Oh, no, cool. I'm sorry.
We know those guys.
I think I've met those guys.
Yep. We'll be
Maybe
there.
once or twice.
October 4th, we'll be at the Rock Island Paracon.
Okay.
And then October 11th, we're still waiting for confirmation. We will be at the Ashmore Estates ErieCon for the Men
Okay.
in the Paranormal.
Very cool.
Right on.
So when
Excellent,
you go,
excellent.
are you giving like lectures or talking, or
Yeah, we're guest speaking at not at Rock Island, but at Bordertown we are, and
Mhm.
ErieCon we are.
Okay,
Oh
excellent.
yeah, you're on panels.
Yep, we're gonna do the
On the panel.
Nice.
I don't know. I might be on the panel too.
I
Maybe.
may be on
All right.
one or
Hey,
two.
Russell, don't leave. I'm going to send you to the back and we're going to talk for a second and we'll talk to you again after the show. So don't leave us. All right.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks for joining us
Woo,
this week.
yes,
Though.
thank you
Yeah,
so
right on.
much.
All right. Here we go. What do we got next week?
Nobody.
Nobody. Actually, we might have somebody. It is my week. And I was talking with Wayne Inman from the Crawford County Ghost Hunters here across the river a little while ago, but I asked him if he wanted to be on the show. He said, yeah, it'd be cool. So
Sweet.
I forgot that we had nobody scheduled for next week.
Yeah, we have nobody scheduled.
He'll more than likely do it. If he won't do it, we'll find somebody. If not, we've got the bag.
Yes,
The bag.
That's true.
we
The
have the
official
bag.
bag. There you go.
And my least favorite question is already out of the bag. So woohoo! All right. Hey, so hey, join us next week, people. All right.
Yes,
Thanks for
y'all
joining
take
us.
care.
We'll
Thanks for hanging
have
around.
awesome
And
time.
we find the actual end credits this time, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.